Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to a game I like to call, we like to call Monopoly, but with a twist. A super twist, courtesy of the Super Nintendo. Anybody remember this one? Yeah, this is a little slice of childhood right here. Simpler days, innocent ways. This was a great game to play with the family. My aunt, one of my aunts actually owned this game. So, yeah, she was a bit of a gamer. And we loved going over her house and getting around the table and, yeah. Have a few games with this. Could quickly turn into a marathon, really. We always going for a quick 30-minute game, but it never turned out that way. Like 1 hour, 2 hours. In the blink of an eye, all gone. Because it's fun. Now, we also like to play the board game Monopoly, but I did that more so with my immediate family. You know, my mother liked that one, but my mother really didn't care much for video games. It may have had something to do with the fact that my brother and I teased her one too many times when she was trying to play Duck Hunt. And, yeah, that's how that ended up. But she still agreed to buy them for us, so I can't be too mad about it, all things considered. But no, this was a really fun game. I don't even remember how my aunt discovered it, because really she found out about games through us, and what she liked, she latched onto. What she didn't like, didn't really care one way or another. But somebody presented this to her, and she presented this to us, and yeah, we just lapped it up. This was a really great representation, I think, of the board game. And, you know, the digital format worked out a lot better than I would have ever thought. And looking back, it's aged extremely well, especially in terms of the presentation, audio, visually. The music, more so the sound effects and jingles, are very appropriate. They just feel very Monopoly, you know, if that's the thing. Like right there, that little jingle perfectly conveyed the disappointment of having to give up money thanks to Community Chest, because that's never a fun thing. So, you know, I just threw in a quick game here. This is on an emulator. I don't, you know, own the game. I don't even know if it's Super Nintendo at this point. It's been years since I've had a Super Nintendo. But it's because I'm a traveling man. I travel too much, so I can't really afford to keep too many systems around. It's too much to keep up with. It's too hard to keep them in good condition. Move around too much, you know, stuff gets damaged. Wear and tear. So emulation is just a practical solution, a practical alternative for today's modern gamer, if you live like I do. So there's a good case to be made for emulation. It's not just about being cheap or, you know, trying to be a pirate. You know, again, these are games that I've owned or played for the most part. I usually don't emulate games that I have no experience with, unless it's something I legitimately wanted to try out. Never got around to. But again, it's not like anybody's going to make a profit anyway if I did manage to find a copy of this to buy, except maybe the little secondhand, no-name trading shop that I'd pick it up from, you know. So enough of that. It's like I put myself on the defendant's chair and nobody was accusing me of anything. But yeah, you see I'm in the middle of a game here between Jeeves and Paulie. These two characters are very interesting, and they give you a wide variety of AI characters to choose from to play as if you don't have enough human people to play as. If you don't have enough human people to play with. Jeeves, I don't know, he's kind of funny because he looks like the Ask Jeeves guy. Maybe that's what it was based on, this guy from this game of all things. And then Paulie is like your stereotypical classic 2030s gangster. And it's hilarious because it's almost like the game is playing off of that. Like Jeeves, you know, he's just very on top of the property, buying up everything, making trades. Paulie is going to jail constantly and it's just having a bad run of it, really. And I'm just kind of in the middle, just, you know, getting what I can. So I'm going to kind of just leave this play in without any more commentary. I wish I started recording at the beginning because some really funny stuff was happening that I wish I could have showed off. So I'm just going to show this unabridged, no dialogue. If you want to skip ahead to the play from the beginning, just click the annotation that you'll probably see on the screen there and jump to a new game where we'll have some new players to compete against. So until then.
you be coming back here now? Sold! Sold!
Now, back to the title screen. With that catchy little ditty. Oh, got cut off. Yeah, it gets in your head real quick. And I'm gonna try to keep this a short game. 4 players. I'm the only human. And just gonna go with P for short. I always pick the dog. Don't ask me why. I always pick the dog. Unless somebody gets it first. Gary Kant. Being young, I didn't know who Cary Grant was, but I'm pretty sure that was a playoff for him. Paulie, that's what I was talking about there. Paulie Capone, Billy Bob, who has had better days, looks like. Mary Ann, very astute there. Amanda, Elizabeth, and you saw Jeeves there, yep. Ask him anything. And yeah, we're going to pick Amanda, Elizabeth, and Betty Sue. Because we went with all guys last time. We're going to give the girls a shot. Or the women, rather. They all look like women, I would say. Because this is where the men and women play, not the boys and girls. That's what Hungry Hungry Hippos is for. This is high stakes. Lives are on the line. Livelihood specifically. Trying to avoid bankruptcy. And they have some templates, pre-modified games you can choose from, what they call preset games. You want to start off with high money. Everyone has certain properties, just basically handicaps. We're avoiding that. Everyone starts off with 1,500. It's not a lot, but it's not a little either. So just going to keep it even, Steven. And right off the bat, they usually will just buy whatever they land on, assuming they can afford it. I, on the other hand, will be very selective and with properties I put my cash on. I've always liked the red properties, the green properties, the blue properties, and the orange properties, and to a lesser extent the purple. The purple by jail, not go. So if I can buy up any of those, and the railroads, I always like the railroads, and I usually don't get the railroads, but I'm big on the railroads for obvious reasons if you are familiar with the game. So if I can get any of those. Utilities, I don't care as much about, but that's what I like to target. Anything else, I'm liable to just trade it if I can. And trading is a very fun feature in this game that you'll probably see later if you didn't watch the earlier segment of this video. And it's funny because the computer will trade with each other all the time. And a lot of times they have this funny thing where they'll put what they want from the other player. Like, give me all 3 of these properties of the same color. And I will give you, oh, how about a big fat nothing? And naturally the other computer doesn't accept the deal. And it's just so hilarious. Ooh, got doubles. And I might buy this actually. I like St. Charles, but States isn't bad either. I'll go ahead and pick that up. It is purple. And another roll and another double and a railroad. I like where this is going. Again, excellent use of sound effects in this game. Very endearing. But I don't know if the AI is programmed that way. And a red. Back to the whole trading thing. I don't know if the idea was they put what they want and then they put it on the other player to decide what they want to give up in return for that. But I think the other computer character doesn't see it that way, and they just back out 9 times out of 10, or 10 times out of 10 really. And of course they never offer me a deal like that because I would actually haggle with them a little bit. So yeah. Oh, you're definitely buying that. I did want St. James. That's one of my favorite properties. It just seems like it's a hot landing spot. And oh, Betty Sue, what did you do? No. I hope you like orange. And so much for her. She's out of commission for a little bit. And that puts me back in action. No doubles that time, but I did get a yellow, and these are good properties too. Not one of the ones I go for, but yeah, Vintner. I will actually auction that because, I don't want it. And another good thing about auctioning in this game, you can take advantage of it in certain situations to buy properties for less than the asking price. So even if you do want a property, but you want to save some money, depending on where everybody else is at, you might want to take the risk of auctioning. The only thing about that is there's a chance the price can go up or somebody else can get the property altogether. But if you're in a situation, for example, say the other players are low on cash and you know that, and you can afford to spend more, that's a good chance to capitalize. Or if you just want to be a jerk, you can just raise the price without any intention of actually buying it. And then before it gets too high, before your blood gets too rich, just back out and let somebody else get stuck with it. It's pretty fun. You know, because they're computer opponents, so they're not standing to your left or your right. They can't punch you in the shoulder for doing that. So, because that's what friends are for. And yeah, you're in jail, Betty. Where are you going? Nowhere. Oh, uh-oh. And another fun thing about playing it as a video game, whenever you get a card, you get something like this. And yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to back out of the jingle that fast. I just got irritated and I was acting on reflex. I want you to hear as much of the sound bites as possible for this because there's so many, you probably won't see even most of them in the course of a playthrough unless you're just playing a really, really long game. And of course, it's all randomized, so it's no telling what you're going to get. And look, we get to see another community chest. Like that animation there. How come that doesn't happen when I file my taxes? Somebody just come up, knock on my door, kind of cradle me like a baby while they're waving money in front of me that hopefully will end up in my hands at some point. Speaking of which, it is about that season. For those living in the US of A, it's tax time. Yeah. Got the whole healthcare thing now. We have to pay out of pocket if we don't have a healthcare plan, which, yeah, depending on what kind of plan you have, you know, it really doesn't affect you too bad, but hey, fat cats making out. Yeah, so it's always fun to land on chance and community chest in this game, even when it's not something that's pleasant, you know, just for the little animations that they have. And passing go is fun because rains on your face, the money. And you're going to give up 50 to me off the bat, so thank you very, very much. So yeah, this game's got a lot of style to it, you know, which is appropriate because the game itself, Monopoly, has a lot of style. And man, also while I'm thinking about it, I want to thank another YouTube user here by the name of DariaPlays. Daria mentioned Monopoly in one of her videos. I think it was top chill games or top games to go to Something along those lines. It's been a while since I've seen it, but basically just talking about games that are just fun to put on anytime, any day, any season, and just really unwind and de-stress. Just games you can pick up and play at any time and just go into your ultimate comfort zone. And she got me thinking because Monopoly is one that she mentioned.
Don't you be coming back here now.
Can't forget that line. And I was thinking, yeah, that was a fun game. And I hadn't thought about it for years. So I actually had to look for a Super Nintendo emulator just to play this game. This game right here is why I got a Super Nintendo emulator. Again, I'm not somebody who just, well, I shouldn't say that because it implies something that's not really fair to other people. But I was going to say I don't abuse emulation. I mean, I don't just emulate stuff just because, like something I would have had no intention of playing or buying at any point. But again, this was something that I had back in the day, or rather my aunt had. I played it extensively, so this is almost like visiting a childhood friend, in a way, if that's not weird. But this is really taking me back, and I'm enjoying it. And I have to agree with her now. I couldn't really think of too many good games back then when I saw that video. She got me thinking, like, what are good games I can just go to and unwind? Because I actually don't play games that much anymore. I mean, most of the time, if I'm playing something, it's specifically for YouTube at this point. Yeah, that's right. It's for you guys. So I don't really play stuff just to play it anymore. Not really. So, and it's not because I don't want to necessarily, but, you know, it's just, you know, where's the time? You tell me. 24 hours isn't enough anymore. But yeah, this was really fun here. And this will definitely go on my list of games to relax to. You know, I've actually had to tone it down and just limit it to a 30-minute game here because I could easily have gone on for an hour or 2 or 3, you know, so it's just that kind of game sucks you in. And then again, you lose track of time and there's all these other things that you need to do. And before you know it, you know, you're falling behind, losing track, disappointing folks and slacking off. And we can't have that. So, Betty Sue, what you gonna do? Get out of jail, and you got enough money, you can buy this, and she will buy this. Because again, the AI doesn't know how to say no when there's a wallet in their hand. And again, as long as they can afford it, I'm probably doing the best in terms of money right now, but that can change at any time. And see, every spot on the board has its own unique little animation. See, even with free parking, so, you know, they spared no expense. I can't imagine it was that expensive. Oh, Amanda's she's doing a little better than me financially. Even after spending time with the pen, she's still on top, but we'll see what we can do about that. It's probably my imagination, but I like to think that all of the computer characters here have their own distinct personality. Thanks for the 50. That shows through in the game. You know, Paulie, he has a predisposition to end up in jail. But again, it's my imagination based on that one playthrough. I haven't played this game enough to really be able to back any of this up. Amanda seems like a very tenacious player. You know, she just really goes for the throat, not to be messed around with. Jeeves is very, very practical, very about his business, very resourceful. I'd say the same about Elizabeth. They're very thrifty people. So they're in the right game, I think. And Billy Bob, I don't know if I don't really have too much experience with Billy Bob. He's not somebody I pick a lot. And Gary Kant, it's been a while since I picked him, so I don't really remember him that well. I know that when I picked computer characters, for some reason I tended to pick Elizabeth, Jeeves, Paulie, Amanda, even Betty Sue. Maybe even Mary Ann, but yeah, Billy Bob and who else was it? Gary. Yeah, I didn't use them so much. I don't know why. So, yeah, 18 is 18. I do like that number. Anything above 0 when it comes to money is a good number. You know, kind of miss board games. I wonder how many children growing up these days even have experience with board games. You know, but it was in full effect back then. You know, we had this, we had Shark Attack, we had Hungry Hungry Hippos, we had Candyland, we had Sorry. I mean, there were just so many. Operation, just too many. And then we had some really obscure games that I can't even think of off the top, but we just had some of them just random games. But, you know, I kind of miss those days. So, no regrets though, you know. Just saying, it was an interesting time, interesting experiences, and you know, it's unfortunate that more people growing up nowadays don't really have that. You get 45. Thank you. Been doing pretty well so far. I've been very fortunate with the cards so far. I haven't gotten too many whammies. So, and then there was the game shows, which was a whole other thing. You know, you had, besides the big ones, obviously like Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, you had You Bet Your Life, I think. Is that the one with the whammies that I'm thinking of? Because I like that one just because, again, the little animated characters really spiced it up a bit. Family Feud's gone through a lot of changes. What else? Was it You Bet Your Life? Oh man, I'm going to be really upset with myself if I'm getting it wrong. Because it was a really good game show and I think I'm messing it up. And I'm not paying attention at all to what's going on here. Ooh. Oh, I think I have that one, don't I? Ventnor? Who are you paying? Oh, you're paying Amanda. Okay, that's fine. Maybe I'm thinking of the last game I was on. Oh, no. Well, I was talking about paying my taxes, so. 75. If only I could get away with that this year in real life, but I'm probably going to end up having to pay more than that. And she's rolling doubles, so she's going to buy that, no doubt. I guess it's kind of smart to buy a Baltic Mediterranean because even though you don't get much from them in the beginning, they're in that hot spot right by Go, so it's easy for folks to land on them frequently. So if you're smart and you get both, put up some houses, hotels, you can start stacking and collecting real quick. At least that's the idea in theory. You know, a lot of things work in theory, don't always pan out that way in reality. Communism, everyone. And I'm not putting communism down. It's actually got a lot going for it. You know, it's just like anything else, you know. It's all about the people who put it into practice, you know. But on paper, communism just sounds like one of the best ways you could organize a society. Again, on paper. You know, it's easier said than done, though, because you got so many things to factor into the equation, you know, such as human emotions and motivations and intentions and, yeah. Advance to the nearest utility. Does anybody have that one yet? Probably not. But maybe. No. Yeah, you're buying that. And see again with the sound effects. Just very, very charming. So I think we have the railroads divided. I own the verticals, she owns the horizontals, so, you know, we kind of have an agreement there. She's got her turf, I've got mine, it's fair. And I'm paying who? Elizabeth, okay. $6. Yeah, I can take that hit. Ooh, yeah. Oh, got all excited for nothing. I thought she was about to start trading with me finally. And they're just going to continue to ignore me. So let's watch and see what they do. Oh, they actually made a deal. Guess she really wanted that property. 500 bones just like that. No hesitation, no remorse, no second guessing. That's how I like to live my life. To act without hesitation. To do what is right. Sorry, I just been on a Shenmue kick lately. Got the 4-woo-do on my brain. But it's good stuff. Things you can live your life by. True wisdom in a video game. You know, really, wisdom's everywhere. It's just a matter of the recipient Wisdom is really about listening. There's wisdom all around you if you can listen. The art of listening. And I got doubles there, so I'm just on the town, and I'm definitely buying this. This is Illinois, right? Oh, I was looking at the wrong piece. I landed on Atlantic. Why did I think I landed on the red there? Oh, somebody's actually trading with me? Okay, let's do it. Oh, that's why you want that last red. You're not getting that unless... Oh, you're going to have to pay up for this. You're at 907 right now. I'm tempted to ask for the 900, but we will go high though. See how badly you want to complete your set. Yeah, we're going to go up a little higher. And on top of that, yeah, she actually took it. Because see, on one hand, she's got all the reds, but I wiped her out as far as money, just about. I should have taken a chance and asked for a property or two, because she might have still accepted the deal. I thought she was going to turn me down. Great. Now you're losing even more of that money I left you. Now see, if I'd taken her to double digits, she might have been bankrupt now, and that would have been fun. So that's my new goal. Let's see if we can get Amanda bankrupt. Just cuz. Taking all those risks is catching up with you real quick. Ain't it? Ain't it? Ain't it? Because she was my biggest threat, I think. And we're very, very quickly neutralizing that threat. Oh, but I forgot about Betty Sue. Betty Sue is still a concern now that she's out of jail and back on the loose. Picking up Vermont. Why not? Have at it. Not concerned. I will pick this up, though, if I can. Getting all these doubles. Because nobody has this. Yep, picking that up. No doubt. And yes, wanted to pass the income tax this time. Collecting gold, getting some green. Not a bad way to spend the day. Give a little, get a little. And okay, what do you want now? Oh, just want everything, don't you? So let's see what we can get you to give us this time. Because obviously nada is not enough. Okay, give me that, and how about some money? Yeah, I won't ask for everything. Let's see if you'll be this silly. Ah, yes. It's all coming together. So if she just lands on somebody else's property, we're in for fun times. I don't remember who owns this. I know I don't. So maybe Betty Sue? Elizabeth? Come on, Betty Sue. Yeah, she owed somebody. Yeah. Now this is when the fun begins for her, because now she has to put some things in the mortgage in order to pay that. But she did. It was only 14. Still not looking too good in the financials, so. Uh-oh, whose is this? Whose is this? Not hers. It was mine. But, oh yeah, I just bought that. But she still has a little bit to work with. If she lands on that railroad, they'll forget about it. But that's Elizabeth's, I think, so she's fine, yeah. She owns that. Again, she has the horizontal one, so. She's in the safe zone. But I highly recommend this game. Again, if you have access to a Super Nintendo emulator, if you do look for this, you want to get version 1.1. That one seems to work better than the other one that's floating around out there. It's a really fun game, and it'd be a great multiplayer game. So even somebody you know who's really not into video games, this might be one of the few that they'd be willing to try. You just have to show it off for a little bit, you know, work them into it. But it's really fun, easy to pick up and grasp. It's a great way to spend the day. Just a word of warning, though. I tried a Super Nintendo emulator first. I think it was called SNES 9X, something like that. It automatically associated all files of a certain type to that program, which kind of threw some other programs I had off. So careful with that one. I'm using Windows 8. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but careful. I can't recommend that one. Now, if you're more technically savvy than I am, maybe that wouldn't have thrown you off. But I'm just giving you a word of warning. I don't want to steer anybody astray or lead anybody to a ditch. That's going to require some climbing out. So I ended up going with, what was the one that I went with? You know what? Yeah, and this is an example of using the auctions to your advantage again, getting it for a little bit less when you can. It didn't really make a difference that time. In fact, I might have ended up paying more. I wasn't paying attention. Because I am currently checking to see which Super Nintendo emulator I actually did use, because I don't remember off the top. So give me a moment here. You don't see it, but I'm actually looking it up right now. Apologize for that. Let's see. What was it? I know it was one of the older ones, one of the well-known ones. Okay, I think it was ZSNESW. Yeah, it was ZSNESW 151-761. That is the one that I used, and it worked very well, very easy to set up, so I highly recommend that one if you're using Windows PC. There was also another one called BSNES that is supposed to be pretty good too, but I didn't get around to trying that one because ZSNESW worked, so I went with what worked. Why, you know, no sense to keep looking for something when you got something that works. Oh. I just want to be quiet so you could take in that full effect there, the house building animation. Again, little touches like that, and I'm glad that somebody did that so you could see that, because I'm not in a position of putting you up right now. Ah, you got St. Charles. I wanted St. Charles. Oh well. Because I don't think I'm going to be in a position to get any hotels either. We're probably not going to see that in the course of this playthrough, which is probably almost through. So you got to see a little bit of the game, though. Again, I highly recommend it. Go pick it up. The price is right. Oh, what are you doing? She wants it all. She wants it all. I'm probably not going to get a thing. Okay, you basically want all her properties and a lot of money. For what now? One property? What are you doing? Amanda, I think she's getting cloudy in the head. I don't think she can even think straight. And here I am accessing the menu. Let's see what we can do as far as the trade. And let's see. As you can imagine, this is a lot more interesting when you're playing with other people in person. It's many shenanigans can ensue, let me tell you. And here we can actually access a few options. Game speed, I'm going to put it on fast, I think. Yeah. Timer. Yeah, we don't need a timer at this point. Computerized, that's just if you want to turn any human player into a computer opponent, which is actually useful in certain situations. Say if somebody has to leave early and they can't stay and complete their game, you know, you can let a computer take over for them. So very thoughtful, very forward thinking of them. So really, this game's got it all going for it. What more could you ask for in a digital representation of a board game? Really. I wonder how well it sold back in the day going back, because I never saw any ads for it. No marketing. Really, I would have known about this unless my aunt had it. So I'm really curious who told her about it, because she wasn't that savvy about this stuff. So somebody had to have hipped her to it. Man, that music is so catchy. That's one of my favorite ones too. Glad we got to hear it. And oh, you're paying her. Wait, I thought I had that one. That's a vertical railroad. I thought I had that one. Oh, okay. I just haven't been paying attention at all, and it's showing. Because I have a couple of the things I'm looking at the same time that I'm commentating on this, at the same time that this is playing. So this is recorded and posted clearly. So and yeah, we're nearing the end of the road here. And doing better than I expected, because the AI is really merciless in this game. I mean, they will show you no mercy, and they are just very shrewd people. Very shrewd virtual non-people. taking no financial prisoners. And Amanda caught up again, but she managed to work up a little bit of funds on the spot. And who has this one? Betty Sue. I always forget about Betty Sue. I don't know why. And you're talking to me. Let's see. I kind of have to leave, so we're just going to end the game now. And I won. Second place was Amanda, no surprise. Followed by Elizabeth. And oh wait, it's not in order. Yeah, because I'm looking, how's Amanda behind me? No, she was actually last. She was the one I was worried about the most, ended up doing the worst. That's how it happens sometimes. And Betty Sue, the quiet ones, the one I was not concerned with at all. Well, that'll do it for this Let's Try. Why not try it for yourself? Take care. See you soon.